Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Queensbury promoter Frank Warren. Frank, here at the FIBO Sports Industry Award 2025, you're receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. If you could pinpoint one thing to say that's your crowning achievement in this sport, what would you say it would be?
To have survived it and be in it still. That's the truth of the matter. Look, I've been blessed with so many brilliant moments, some ups and downs on the way. That's what life's about. With some brilliant moments, with some brilliant people, some brilliant fighters. It's been an amazing journey, and to pick one out is very, very difficult.
How do you keep yourself motivated?
I love it. You know, we had a couple of young lads come in last week in the office. I was talking to them. One of them is turning pro with us, and the other one's 14, and he came in and presented me with his belt that he won in the ABAs. He said, I want you to promote me. I said, I can't take that, son. Give it to your dad and your family. No, I want you to have it. I said, I'll look after it here. When you turn pro, he said, I want you to go. And I looked at him, I thought, I really, really want to help that, give him my little bit of expertise to help. I love that part of it. I love the journey.
Mm-hmm. Will part of your Lifetime Achievement Awards be making Fury versus AJ? Eddie said on Sky Sports, there's a clear path to it now, and it feels like Tyson's teasing us with these social media messages. He's done 12 rounds in the gym. Can we get that fight?
Look, if he comes back and he wants to do it, we'll do it. Mm-hmm. But it's up to Tyson. Mm-hmm. So, it's a fight that didn't happen. I'll get where everybody's at with it. Me, I'd prefer Tyson stays retired.
Did you think you'd be seeing Manny Pacquiao return to the ring in 2025?
No, I didn't. Yes. And I don't particularly, I'm not too particularly happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
He's 46, he's been out in the ring for a long time. And I know other guys have done that in the past and come back. George Foreman comes to mind, a few other fighters. But he's been out in the ring for a long time, and to come straight in for a world title fight right at the start of it, it's not even testing the water, you're going right in the deep end. That's a tough call.
Is Jake Paul in the deep end with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.?
Sorry?
Is Jake Paul in the deep end with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.?
Listen, one thing about Jake, you've got to take your hat to him. He challenges lots of people. He's challenged him. I've made it very clear I like him. I get on very well with him and Nikita, his team. For boxing experience, you've got to think all day long that Chavez Jr.'s, will be a tough fight for him. But he's training hard all the time. He's living the life as a boxer. We will see.
Have you seen the comments from Tony Bellew regarding Usyk versus Dubois 2? He said that Daniel Dubois was in a dark place and end up on the receiving end of a knockout. Your right reply?
Well, I've got to be honest, I don't particularly care about responding to what he says about anything about Daniel Dubois, considering when Daniel challenged AJ, talked about him going home on a stretcher or going to a hospital on a stretcher in an ambulance. So I wouldn't even dignify anything he says about Daniel Dubois.
Where do you think the comments come from?
Where do I think they come from? I think he's just a nasty bastard at times. That's it.
I don't know if you saw on TalkSport as well, when it came to it, obviously Moses Atama was seen as one of the biggest prospects in all of boxing. The conversation was, who do you think could be in the opposite corner to Moses Atama? And Daniel Dubois said that he would back Martin McCauley if he was in shape to cause Daniel Dubois on TalkSport to cause Atama some problems, maybe even beat him. What do you think about that?
So look at him last time and the time before, the time it takes for him to get in shape, Moses will be retired.
Frank, can I ask you, obviously the lay of the land is obviously shifting sands in the sport, obviously with Riyadh season, Turkey Al-Sheikh's inclusion. What is the current state of play as promoters look to shake out things? What's the current state of play with Riyadh season, TKO and everything?
Riyadh season, the shows continue there. We're talking about the one with one in August at the moment, His Excellency, and I'm sure that'll be announced soon. But starts again as a season in October. There continues to do great boxing events.
You had Tommy Fury previously. I was out in Budapest and Hungary to see his return to the ring. What do you think about him and his future? Do you think he can get back on track and have big fights in the sport?
Well, I didn't see the fight. Is he fighting a heavyweight now?
I believe so. Yeah, it was at heavyweight.
It's a great division. He's undefeated. He's got a great name. He's getting in some big fights. Not a problem.
Obviously, we're there for Wardley versus Hooney, but on the short list for opponents for Wardley, who was on there and why did you decide on Hooney?
We decided on Hooney because he's ranked number one by the WBO. Our man is ranked number one and is the mandatory and is the interim by the WBA. So number one fight, number one makes more sense.
Dillian seems to want a bit of a Lawrence Okoli.
Who didn't want him?
Dillian seems to want a bit of Lawrence Okoli.
Does he really? Dillian. Sorry, I didn't realise you took. Yeah, Dillian. That's no brainer. It's a no brainer, mate. Dillian wants that fight. Of course, it's an easy fight to make.
Has there been any update on a potential Matchroom versus Queensbury versus Matchroom 5 versus 5 2?
We are still talking about it.
Very last thing, Frank. Zhile Zhang, he said that he's been injured on the road to recovery. Can you say when he's going to return and who likely against?
When he's ready to fight and he'll fight a world-ranked fighter.
Cheers, Frank. Much appreciated.